It's officially a year out from our wedding. There is under 12 months to go and I'm getting so pumped and so excited, and so is Sam. So I thought today I would sit down with you all and talk you through how I've been planning my wedding so far. We are getting married in Thailand. If you missed the video of us checking out our wedding venue and talking to our wedding planner, I'll make sure to leave it down below, but also somewhere up here so you can click on that after watching this video or before if you want to catch up. But in this video, I'm going to talk you through some of the finer details. So if you're a bride looking to plan your own wedding overseas or even in Australia, or if you're just wanting to binge watch the process and see us planning our wedding and get excited with us, then this is the video for you. I've also created a whole playlist so that all the videos related to the wedding are all going to be together, and I'm planning on making so many because I can't wait to share this with you. So where to start? I don't even know. When Sam and I first got engaged, we straight away knew we wanted to get married in Thailand. I think it was one of the first questions we asked each other as soon as we got engaged, and we were both feeling pretty confident that that's the location for us. If you didn't know, Thailand was one of the first places Sam and I traveled to together. We've been back several times since, and we absolutely love the culture, the food, the experiences we've had there. So it was a no-brainer to get married there. We also don't have a high budget for our wedding. We do have a bit of savings set aside, and we've had a few family members offering to help. But we are paying for the wedding ourselves, and we wanted to make sure that our dream wedding was going to be affordable for us. Now, I know the alternative is to do a small backyard wedding. If we had our own homestead, I'm sure we would have done it on there. But having a rental in New South Wales, far from a lot of our family and friends who are down in Victoria, we knew that they would already have to travel up for our wedding, no matter where they would go, getting accommodation, getting food, getting flights, and we knew that the costs would be better off spent going overseas for a holiday where everyone could be together in a place that was really affordable to holiday in, and we could enjoy our wedding over several days, which for Sam and I was a dream come true, honestly. We're actually planning on getting married at a small peninsula off Krabi, which is called Railay Beach. This is a beautiful place for us to travel to that we absolutely love. And we also know that for first-time travelers, which we have a lot of family and friends who are, this is going to be a really easy place for them to get around, to get everything they need, and to get to, leading to a stress-free holiday and experience for everyone that we love. So we're keeping all of our friends and family updated through a website that Sam put together. And on our invitations, we've actually put in a QR code to help them scan onto the website and find all the details they need, like flights, accommodation, anything else that they might need to know about, like taxis or conversion rates, and some helpful tips for those traveling for the first time. So let's talk about invitations first, I guess. And this will be in my DIY video in more detail, but I tried to save money on our invitations. I knew that there was something that didn't need a lot of money spent on them. There was something that only really needed to inform people of a date, and then people would throw it out. So I hopped onto Canva. I used my creative skills just to put together some easy invitations. And then I had this beautiful, it almost looks handmade paper that I printed it onto. But those are our invitations, our save the dates, and our engagement party invites. And I'm really happy with them. I think they look beautiful. We put some magnet strips on the back of the save the date cards since they did go out so much earlier than our wedding date. And then the rest we just kind of sent as is in an envelope. Now, Sam and I, when we chose the location of our wedding, so a lot of it was done online. It wasn't during COVID time, very luckily. We did wait a little while before we started planning because of COVID. But once we got planning, we wanted to go see the venues in person. So once we kind of knew the place we wanted to go to, which of course we picked like the most expensive resort, but you know, you only get married once and we want a nice big party. We ended up going to Thailand last year to check out the resort, check out the wedding venue, talk with our wedding planner in person and make it feel more real. And I'm really glad we did that because they actually gave us some different maps and things, which I'll be photocopying for all of my wedding guests to make it easier for them to get around. And it also meant that we could actually see how we would walk through the venue, where we would take our photos with our photographer, where we would stand, what it would look like in the different light and situations. We did end up going to Thailand to visit almost at the exact same time that our wedding would be, so we got to see when the sun would set, when the sun would rise, what the weather would be like, so that we could adjust our planning based on that. Now, the reason we chose this wedding venue over all others was because it's set in the heart of a national park. And you know, Sam and I, we are massive nature lovers. And so getting married in a beautiful garden set amongst limestone cliffs and trees is just the dream. We've got a beautiful reception venue, which is in the same resort as well, just a walk away, that's set overlooking the water as well. And it's just, I could not imagine a more beautiful place to get married in. And just the fact that we're getting married overseas in our favorite travel location makes the dream even more affordable, which is really incredible. Another reason we picked our resort is because the price is all inclusive. So it covers the wedding planner, the food, the venue, the drinks. It covers cake, transport within the resort. It covers florals and table decorations. So all of those things I didn't actually have to think about myself. I could send over some photos, and I'll show you guys in a moment some of my inspiration, but I could send over the photos of what I wanted based on the price that it would be, and then my wedding planner is going to take care of all of that with the local vendors in the area. And that's one of the great advantages of getting married overseas, is that you've got someone pretty much planning the whole wedding for you at half, if not less, the cost of what it would be here in Australia. So I'm really grateful for that. And I think it's taken off a lot of stress off my shoulders, knowing that someone else is in charge of all those things prior to the wedding, as well as on the wedding day when I want to relax and enjoy my day. Let's talk about the detail, the things that are going to bring the wedding to life and really make it our own. The first thing I did when I started to plan my wedding is to create a Pinterest board. It's private, so you're not able to access it because, of course, it's got like my wedding dress and things like that in it, which I'm not going to show you in this video. You'll just have to stay tuned. And I started off by thinking about my colors, and of course, I've gone with very natural, earthy, pale kind of colors. This is the color palette that I picked for our wedding. Our bridesmaids are going to be in sage green mix match dresses. I really don't want them to all be wearing the same thing because I know different styles suit different people, and I'm someone personally who has such a hard time finding a dress that suits me. So I've told the girls that I'll go shopping with them, or they can keep a lookout themselves for some green dresses, and just to pick a style that they love, that makes them feel confident and beautiful, and that's all that matters to me. My bridesmaids are my best friend from high school, Sam's sister Kiara, and my sister Inna is my maid of honor. And as far as their shoes go, I'm trying to keep this pretty budget friendly. No one needs extra shoes. I mean, I don't anyways. So I've asked the girls if they have any pale shoes, like a tan or a beige kind of shoe color, that's what I want them to wear. And then I'll have a similar shoe type as well. That way it's not going to clash with the sage dress or the green dress in whatever style they get. And I think it will just look beautiful. I don't think it'll matter that it's all mismatched. The boys are going to be wearing probably like a beige linen top or something quite plain up the top. They'll have a little flower on their chest, which I'll probably go and like pick some leaves and make myself because I want to save some money there. The bouquets and like those little flowers on the men and women of the bridal party can be so expensive. So if I can just pick a few things, I don't think anyone will mind. As far as their shoes go, I think Sam mentioned he wanted some loafers or something slip on and easy that's not going to make him too hot. I am considering whether we should have bare feet for the wedding instead of wearing shoes at all, but I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts down below, barefoot or shoes to make the outfit look more done up. And then as far as my florals go for the wedding venue, they normally have a standard package which is white orchids and roses and greenery, like green tropical leaves. It's a tropical place, so there's florals all around, there's greenery all around, and it's super easy for them to source. I didn't want them to go out of their way to get international flowers shipped in or anything like that. I love green and white. They're the classic wedding colors, so I'm super happy with what that's going to look like. And as far as my bouquet, I'm keeping it quite simple with those colors as well. So these are some of my inspiration shots. You can see just emphasizing the green floral tropical leaves that are around, some white beautiful flowers. I honestly prefer the orchids to the roses, but having a beautiful mix of them I think will be really romantic and lovely. So I'm excited to see what they come up with for me. As I said, it's not my biggest priority, and I'm glad it comes in the wedding venue package because it's kind of like a second thought to me. As far as our wedding cake goes, so we decided it's going to be a 1-layer cake with a false layer on top or on the bottom. I'm not sure which order it goes in. And then they're going to decorate it. So I picked a really simple white icing, a nude kind of style, I think is what it's called, if they can, and then just beautiful leaves and flowers to decorate it. Pretty simple. Again, the cake isn't something that is top of my mind. I think by the end of the night, we'll all have a bit of cake, but it won't be like the main feature of the night. I think it's going to be a sponge cake with a coconut cream filling, which sounds really delicious and I'm excited for. All right, let's talk the guest book. The guest book is something I'm really excited for, and I'll talk a little bit more about it in my DIY video. But I've decided to go for like a Polaroid photo kind of guest book, and I just purchased it nice and cheap from Kmart. This is it here. It comes in this beautiful box, and then the actual album looks like this. I'll probably end up putting some lettering on it, but again, we'll probably do that in the DIY video, so I won't go too much into it. But instead of buying a Polaroid camera, I actually ended up doing some research and I decided on getting a sprocket printer. So this is a little printer. You get an app on your phone that you download, and then once you take a photo on your phone, you can send that off straight to the printer. It prints off really quick, really easily. The photos are a little bit pink. This is our little trial. The photos do come out a little bit pink, so I wonder if I can mess around with it and figure that out. But the backing of them is actually sticky, so my guests can print off their photo. I'll probably get one of my bridesmaids or groomsmen to help them out with that. They peel off the back, stick it into the guest book, write down their message with some metallic pens since it's black paper, and that's the only thing that will come up. And then that's it. And I think that will be a really lovely way to remember the day, to see everyone that was there and to hear their messages, but also connect it to their face as we get older and we share it with our children. I highly recommend, if you're a bride, make the first thing you do to get onto Pinterest and make yourself a mood board. I love planning on paper, but having it all digitally just means I can access it easily, send it off to the wedding planner or whoever else I need to send the photos to, and just keep it simple. I did mention that our wedding venue is all inclusive, but the prices of hair and makeup, photography and bands was a lot higher than I was hoping for. So I did ask my wedding planner to suggest some other locals or alternatives, which she was more than happy to do. And I ended up going with her recommendation for the makeup and hair artist, who's going to come out with one other person, an assistant, to do the hair and makeup of myself, the girls, and our 2 mums as well. So that's going to be a really fun pampering day. Another vendor that I had to get outside of the wedding venue is our photographer. And we've got a photographer and videographer combo going on. So it's the same person. He's a team of 2. And so they're going to capture the day from those 2 angles, but also both photos and video. And I guess I kind of had to tell you about the plan for the day to make sense why we picked the photographer for the time that we picked. So we're planning on getting married, I think it's at 4 p.m. is when the ceremony begins. So my photographer's coming in an hour earlier to start capturing the process of getting ready for the day, of putting on our clothes, heading off to the location, the guests arriving. Then he'll be capturing the ceremony, both photo and video. And then after the ceremony finishes, while our guests kind of have a drink and have a bit of a relax at the venue, we're going to go off and have some photos all together as a bridal party and as a couple. And then he'll be there to take photos during the reception as well. So I ended up paying for 5 hours of videography, and I think I picked 4 hours for photography because I don't really want too many photos of us getting ready. I am planning to vlog the morning, so I'll get the girls to help me out with filming it and taking photos of one another, and I just don't want to pay that extra $100 or however much to get those photos. So I've kind of arranged that with him, and that's going to be a lot more affordable for us and still capture most of the day, which is great. The actual place we're getting married in is so beautiful that I think it'll be quite easy to move around places and get lots of photos and videos of that process. So I'm really excited for it. I'm hoping there'll be a boat that we can just like sit in on and get some photos as well, because I love the way those photos look. I have started saving some photos onto my Pinterest board as inspiration for how I'd like to pose or what Sam and I can be doing to make it look really natural and beautiful on the day. And I did have a few other like little bits and pieces that I saved that I thought would be cute, like using sparklers for photos could be really cute to have some really beautiful photos. Using some sugar or flour to make little hearts for the pathway. I was wondering whether I could enlist a friend or even one of the bridesmaids to go down and do that. Again, trying to do a few things ourselves to save the costs, because having those extras by the venue really does add up the costs. So I'm trying to still be smart about it. And the celebrant is something else that we didn't need to think about or worry about because it's inclusive in the package. It's just going to be one of the senior members of the venue that's going to do the ceremony and read out the vows. Sam and I are actually writing up our own vows and what we would like him to say because we want to keep it quite personal. So he'll be reading that out, and we might take part in saying a few things ourselves as well. As far as the legal marriage side of things go, Sam and I are getting legally married here in Australia in Melbourne a month later. And the reason we're doing that is because 1, it saves costs. 2, it makes it a lot easier because we're not having to go into the embassy and translate documents and things like that. It just makes sense for us to have our wedding, our celebration with our friends and family in Thailand, and then work out all of the paperwork and the difficult things once we're in Melbourne. So we've decided to have our wedding first because that way that's the thing we remember, while the legal signing of papers is just that extra thing for us. I had to think about how I wanted my wedding favors to go for the wedding as well, and I decided, because I've got the talent and I've got the resources, to make some macrame keychain holders. These are going to potentially decorate our guests' bags when they're done, and if you didn't know, I am selling them also on our shop Ethical Wonder. So I picked 6 different designs that I loved and I made one for each guest. I'm also going to make little cardboard tags on each of them just saying thank you, or I'll probably put in like a pun like thanks for being a part of tying the knot, or we loved having you see us tie the knot, or something like that, because macrame is knots. Yeah. I thought that would just be the easiest and the most cost affordable way for me to do that, and I think it's really special. It means anytime our guests travel from now on, they'll be able to remember the day with us, and it's also not something that's signed with our names or anything like that that makes it feel a little tacky over time, because in my opinion, I don't know, I just don't like having names on things. I feel like I can only use it for so long before it's like, okay, I just want other things now. So we really want to try find a band, but we're having a lot of trouble trying to find someone local and affordable to be our band. So that's Sam's job, something that he needs to look into. As far as the rest of the playlist, if we don't find a band, we've got a plan B. They have a PA system, they've got a microphone, so we're creating a playlist of all our favorite songs. We're deciding to do covers of popular songs or a lot of just chill, acoustic kind of music as far as our playlist goes. That's just our style, and that way we can still have those dancey, upbeat music, but without the poppiness of it. Like, I think the acoustic cover versions are just going to be beautiful. But yeah, as far as wedding planning goes, that's most of it so far. As you can see, we've pretty much got 90% of our wedding planned at this point, so not feeling stressed. At this point, it's all the fun things that we get to do, like trying on the dresses, looking for shoes, finishing off some special touches with our favors and our guest book, helping our family and friends to organize their passports, their flights, their accommodation. And then I guess just paying for things, paying the deposits, paying the amounts, confirming RSVPs and all those things. So that's what we have ahead of us for the next few months before the wedding. And then it'll be time to get married. So I can't wait to continue sharing our wedding planning journey with you. If you have any ideas of things you want me to share about, or if you have any tips or ideas, please leave them down below. I would love to hear about your own wedding journey or things that really helped you out. I'm still so new to this, and even though it feels like I've got a lot of things under control, I know as we get closer to the day, I'm just going to start freaking out and stressing more and more. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I really enjoyed talking to you about my inspiration and all of the fun things that I've been doing this last year. And stay tuned for more beautiful wedding videos coming up soon. See you guys.